let's talk about it. So today we're cutting down an Acer saccharianum. It is a common silver maple. The reason why we're removing it will be evident when we get down to the bottom. In this video, we'll start from the top. We've already started some of the work, some of the process today. Remove some of the weight out of the top. And you're like, Justin, you have this giant open field. Why didn't you just drop it? Well, you'll just have to see the stump. But I didn't trust it with all the back weight and the decay to pull it over. So instead we're gonna climb it. That way we don't smash the shed or the fence. All right, down out of the tree now, top of the tree's out. We've got it down to a level which we're fairly certain is going to be safe to fell this tree. And maybe this puts it into perspective some more. So the base of the tree is entirely compromised. This thing was holding on by hopes and prayers. Termite damage, complete structural compromisation of the majority of the tree. The decay pocket goes all the way in, all the way around, all the way down. Hooks through on the backside where there is, approximately probably 1 inch of living decent wood left. Comes back up the backside. And then also there's more up there where it follows the heartwood of the tree higher. So, not trustworthy with the amount of weight that was over here and the size of the tree to try to fell it whole. So now I'm going to show you putting a notch in this tree. And we're going to try to squeeze it just far enough away from this fence over here that we don't break anything. And maybe you're asking yourself, well, with it structurally as compromised as it is, why would you climb it anyways with it being that bad? And it's because we don't have enough ability to pull it over against the lean and against the weight and trust that what little bit of good hinge wood we have will keep it from breaking on the hinge and just falling wherever it wants anyways. So over here behind me, we had the crown of that maple and the crown of this maple was too close together, and it likely would have just fallen into it, got snagged, damaged the other tree, bounced off, rolled into the fence anyways. And just with the fact that there's only maybe a few inches of good decent wood on the backside of this particular tree regardless, likely would have just broken off, fallen, hitting the shed and the fence no matter what. Now what you're going to see me do is make my notch, try to make a good enough notch with whatever hinge wood we have left to be able to steer this, which leans towards the fence just far enough away, hopefully before it breaks off, that it doesn't hit the fence. And what we're going to do is Matt here. Matt, say hello.
Hello.
We're going to pull this way, slightly, maybe 90 degrees against the lean, not quite completely against the lean, to give it just enough side pressure to want to break off more in this general range instead of this general range. Kind of supporting it on its way over to get it to break. Cool beans. Are you still rolling?
All right, I am again.
All right, so what I've done is I've made a good, decent open face notch. We got a little Dutchman over here. We're gonna cut that out before we proceed. Look at that, ant's falling out of it right now. There's nothing in there. Nothing good anyways. But what I made sure to do, since we got this leg of callus tissue right here, and we have a little leg, a little ram's horn developing of callus tissue here, and just rot in the middle. So I made sure to nick and get my notch into both sides of this ram's horn that's developing where this really stiff callus tissue is, so that way we don't have some kind of weird pull event where if we didn't nick it and compromise it when we try to get this to come over, what could happen is one leg or the other decides to not give at the same time as the other one, and then the whole thing tries to rip down the bottom of the tree and take all this with it, and maybe it compromises our cut and what we're trying to do, and it makes it less predictable. So what we're doing is increasing our odds of predictability. So you can see, really nasty, hollow all the way through, nothing in there, super duper rotten and soft, pretty much all the way through this. Had a little bit of decent wood here in the back, slightly more than I thought, which is good, and I gave it just enough hinge wood with our pressure pulling just off of parallel to the lean, for it to break here, even though for our notch we actually got it right on the money.